Good morning. Today is Wednesday, January 8th, and it is 11 a.m. And I have a nice cup of coffee. Welcome to vlog 73. I am so glad you are here. I prepped my list of things that I want to discuss with you, and I am kind of in a hurry because I have an appointment at the hairdresser. So we are just going to start and see how far we get. Well, I need to finish it because I can't change haircut mid vlog. So okay. My name is Linda. I'm also known as Wool Hobby. I'm from the Netherlands and I have a web shop in hand-dyed yarn, handicrafty notions, knitting needles and my own knitting designs. And last week I had 3 works in progress in active rotation. And first of all, my autumn square. And this is what I have so far. This is one of the most fun patterns I ever knitted. The construction is very clever and it is a joy to knit on. So is the yarn, by the way, by the Wee Yarn Company. And so is the bag in which it is living, which is this one from Studio Berengoord. Yesterday I had a knitting brunch with my knitting friends from the library knit group, and I finished the back hem and did a mini I-cord bind off. And yesterday evening I did some work on the front hem. And that will be 10 rows shorter than the back hem. And after that, I need to decide what I want to do for sleeves, because I told you this was my Christmas Eve cast on, and I told you that I would not have too much yarn for it, but I only started the 3rd skein yesterday. I could not estimate it very well because I decided that I was going to knit 2 sizes smaller, if I remember correctly, because my gauge was off. So then it is not completely predictable how much yarn you need. So, but I have plenty. If I want to do something with sleeves, that's possible. But my first idea was to just do an I-cord at the sleeves, because that is a variation I saw on Ravelry and I really like that. So when I finish the bottom hem, I will decide on that. There's a stitch marker here. This was the stitch marker from where I was last time. So I finished the straight part of the body and I finished the back hem and I'm working on the front hem now. This will stay in active rotation because I want to finish it. And I will move the stitch. Well, I won't move this one. This is a little on the heavy side, so I will move this one to the front hem here. But I think the next time I'm showing this, it will be finished. So, but well, we have a stitch marker. My second active work in progress is my Musselburgh. And that is still living in my fiber ratio bag. And I did quite a bit done. I got quite a bit done. The stitch marker is here. So I did this part and I just measured it. I'm only 2 centimeters, so that is a little less than 1 inch shy of starting the decreases. I only have this bit of yarn left. This is it. But when I was working on my temperature blanket, I found this one, and it is just a tad bit darker than the yarn I'm using. I knew I would run out because this is the leftover from my ranunculus, so it was not a full skein, but I will finish the hat with this yarn, and that will be on the inside anyway, so it's no problem. I will move the stitch marker, but again I hope that this one will be finished once I show it again. Because this is just an hour work, something like that. Then I have been working on mijn warme wol hobby. The cowl that my sister designed for my birthday last year. And let's see. Here is my stitch marker. So I did about half a chart repeat. This is a chart repeat. The entire cowl uses 3 chart repeats, and those are 50 rounds, and then there is a 35 round piece that says I love wool hobby. I think I only need to do about 6 rounds to finish the chart repeat. So when I've done that, I have 85 rounds left to do. So I'm halfway, and the cowl will be worn like this. There's a provisional cast on here, so in the end I will Kitchener stitch the beginning to the end. So this is the way that it will be worn. This will stay in rotation, but it will not be finished the next time I show it. I will move the stitch marker up. Let's do that. And I'm so enjoying this knit. Just like brioche. I just like the rhythm of collarwork knitting. But I learned something important, and that is that I don't enjoy collarwork knitting on a small circumference. So collarwork socks, not really my jam. I also have been knitting on my temperature blanket. Look how gorgeous this is. This is the Bits and Bobs blanket by K.F. Jones, the Bakery Bears. I explained about my temperature blanket in one of my Vlogmas episodes, and then I explained that I was wondering if the blanket would not be too heavy on one side, because I would change color on the same side every time. And then I was thinking, no, if I have 3 or 4 days in the same temperature, there's no need to cut the yarn and you can just continue, so that is less ends to weave in on that side. And then I decided on something totally different. I decided to fringe the ends. I have been playing around with the length of the fringes. This one is a bit too long. I might redo that. But what I'm doing now, if I start my new collar for that day, I measure from the tip of my middle finger until the fold of my wrist, well, you know what I mean, this line in my wrist. I measure that, I keep that as a tail, and when I've knitted my row, right side row and wrong side row, I measure again, cut the yarn at the same length, make 8 twists and make it into a fringe. First I tie a double knot, then I make the fringe, and in the end I knot the fringe as well. So I quite like this. I think it's a fun border, and it's easy to do, and I don't have to deal with all the ends. So I take the temperature at noon each day, and then I knit my rows the next morning during coffee. First thing I knit in the morning. Once this video is up, there will have been a shop update in which we added all the gifts that were in the advent calendar. For example, the sock mate, but also the stitch markers, the row counter chain. It's all in the shop now. And I did start dyeing again, so I will update the shop from now on regularly, because it is in desperate need of replenishing of the yarns. So if you are looking for something, just check out the shop several times, because it will change nearly daily, I think. My first 2 patterns that will go up in the shop are the patterns that I designed for the advent calendar. The stripy wrist warmers with the slip stitch detail and the picot border, which I also used in the stripy socks. So these are my first designs for 2025, and I'm already working on my 3rd design, and that is the leg warmer. I restarted this on January 3rd. I checked my calculations, made some changes, and I did not make proper notes about how I did this split hem for the outer leg. So I went back to edit that, and I am now working on the increases to accommodate for the calf. And once I've done that, I need a few centimeters straight knitting in pattern, and then I will decrease before I start the top cuff, so that it is going inwards a little. And once that is done, I can calculate one size bigger and one size smaller, and then it can go to my tag editor, and then it's ready for test knitting. What is also new in the web shop are the gnome kits for the year of Gnomes 2025, which Sarah Shira of Imagined Landscapes is hosting. I get to dye up kits for her again, so those are on the website. And yes, I have a new acquisition, which is this book, Sequence Knitting, by Cecilia Campochiaro, and this is all about sequences used in knitting and sequences that are only knits and purls. And it is a beautiful book. It has many different sequences. There are tables in here that help you calculate your knitting, all kinds of tips and tricks, and there are several patterns in here as well. So I'm definitely going to work my way through this technique. And I got this book from my in-laws for my birthday, The Opinionated Knitter, by my true knitting hero, Elizabeth Zimmermann. And this book is awesome. I'm reading it. I'm reading in it daily. It contains her newsletters, several patterns, and it's so much fun to read this book. Nearly time. I am working with my word of the month, which is to love, loving. And I bought a bullet journal to make notes about what I experience with my word. I'm not a big journaler. I don't have time to journal, but I did make some stuff. And I am tracking several things that have a meaning to me for my word of the month. I'm sending out a WhatsApp message each day to someone to have them set up for a nice day, really. So that is loving to myself, but also loving to someone else. Self-care, I track that, and that can be as simple as flossing or putting body milk on after a shower, just something you really do for yourself. If I have done that, I give myself, I track a number 2. So good morning WhatsApp is number 1, self-care is number 2, my temperature blanket, that's number 3, reading is number 4, moving is number 5, mijn warme wol hobby, the colorwork cowl, is number 6, designing is number 7, resting is number 8, and water is number 9. I might even come up with other things that I love to track. And it's just to give your mind that satisfying feeling of ticking a box. That's it, really. And here I write things down that I experience according to my words, and I just make short notes on whatever I want to save. I'm not doing a gratitude journal with 3 things in a row and stuff like that. That's really too much. But that is my habit tracker. I'm going to keep this short and simple. So I keep the same things in rotation, and when I get back next week, I hope to have finished something. I wish you a lot of fun with everything you do, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye!